Hey, what's up you guys, After Reaction. Today I'm going to be reacting to some more Stargate SG-1. This is Season 6, Episode 7, so let's get into it. Don't people know better by now?
Audio only.
This is Commander Hale, Chairman of the Goa'uld Defense Council, calling Stargate Command. Please respond.
The man identified himself as Commander Hale, Chairman of the Goa'uld Defense Council.
He's been promoted. When I left, he was Undersecretary for Military Appropriations.
Well, according to their commander, the
They're
Colonial
home,
Government
okay.
wants to reestablish trade relations with Earth.
I hope you diplomatically told him where to shove it.
It's not that simple, Colonel.
They tried to frame Daniel.
I don't think it's fair to judge the entire population by the actions of a few scientists.
The Colonians are technologically inferior to Earth. They have little to offer.
Except Nequadria. Nequadria is still our best bet for creating shields and weapons capable of repelling the Goa'uld. We need this.
How we feel in the front fringe? You guys? I had a side fringe for a very long time. How we feeling better? Shadow play. Ooh.
The Colonian delegation will arrive soon. Is there a problem, Jonas Quinn?
Just been so caught up in being a member of SG-1, I kind of forgot how this whole thing started.
We have taken similar paths. I, too, was forced to betray all of that in which I had placed my faith.
I don't know if I can do it, Teal. I mean, they think that I'm a traitor.
He gets that a lot himself.
When I returned to Chulak after leaving the service of Apophis, I, too, was considered a traitor. Sholva to my friends and family that I had left behind. In their eyes, I was dead.
Must have been hard for you to go back.
What I did for my people. In time, they came to understand this.
I don't think my people are ever going to have a chance to know the truth.
Then you must draw strength in knowing that your cause is just. And one day, your people will benefit from the sacrifices that you have made.
I'm Commander Hale. This is Ambassador Draylock and Dr. Kieran.
This is Colonel O'Neill, Major Carter, Teal, and of course you know Jonas Quinn.
Good to see you, Professor.
General, I believe we have a lot to discuss.
Right this way.
Friend of yours?
He was one of my teachers at university, and then he recruited me into the Nequadria project. We've been working together side by side the last 6 years.
Doesn't even say hello.
You accused a member of my team of sabotage to cover up your own incompetence.
And you received stolen goods and are harboring a traitor.
Perhaps it would be better if we focused on the
And?
matter at hand.
Which is what exactly?
For several years, an uneasy peace has resulted from the rivalry between the three major powers on our planet, Kelowna, Terrania, and the Andari Federation. All of that is about to change.
According to our Foreign Intelligence Service, the Terranians and the Andaris are about to sign a non-aggression pact. This would leave us in a very vulnerable position.
I'm just curious.
Good for you.
What made you think we would care?
Me.
We still have something that you want, Colonel. Nequadria.
In fact, thanks to recent discoveries, we have a considerable surplus.
We know that you're decades ahead of us technologically.
Uh-huh.
In the field of jet propulsion alone, you could provide us with a significant strategic advantage.
You want us to give you military technology.
Without it, Kelowna faces annihilation.
You are assuming they intend to attack.
The treaty is an obvious prelude to war. If we wait for them to make the first move, we won't stand a chance.
See, we've been down this road before.
On a previous off-world mission, we encountered a race known as the Urondans. They were losing a war, and they offered us technology in exchange for our help. We then discovered that they were guilty of attempted genocide.
I hardly think this situation compares. All we want is to protect our people.
I understand. But given our past experience, we're reluctant to interfere in the affairs of another planet.
According to Mr. Quinn's original report, you regularly interfere in the affairs of a race known as the Goa'uld.
Well, that's a little different.
The Goa'uld enslave millions of people across the galaxy.
If you were to provide us with a means for a quick and decisive victory, you could potentially save hundreds of thousands of lives. If not, we would have no choice but to fall back on our last resort.
Dr. Kieran and his team have successfully tested an Nequadria bomb. Its destructive power was beyond all expectations. If you do not help us, we will have no choice but to use it.
You guys are pathetic.
Do you believe the Colonians?
Help us or we'll blow our own planet apart. I don't know.
You wanted to see me, sir?
The Joint Chiefs are meeting in an hour. They're going to want me to give them a recommendation.
We can't do it, sir.
You don't think we should help them defend themselves?
I have nothing against them defending themselves, but how do we know they'll stop there?
You sound like Dr. Jackson.
We spent some time together.
I have to wonder if this doesn't have more to do with your own
Spat my
personal distaste for the Colonians.
Possibly, sir.
We're receiving a signal, sir. It's the Colonians.
Open the iris. Dr. Kieran.
I apologize for Ambassador Draylock and Commander Hale. They were called to an emergency cabinet meeting. The non-aggression pact was signed an hour ago.
My superiors will be meeting soon to discuss your situation.
In the meantime, I'd like to speak to Jonas Quinn. So this is where you're working now?
Yeah, when, not off-world. Please.
Off-world.
Is that a
You must
carrot?
have seen some incredible things.
You have no idea.
Well, you were always a dreamer, Jonas. But of course, some of us had to stay behind to deal with reality.
Well, I had to leave. I mean, these people have a much better chance of doing something useful within the Quadria than we ever had.
What good is that to Kelowna?
Well, if they can master shield technology, they'll share that with us.
They won't even share their most basic military hardware.
That's because you come to them as a representative of only one nation. What the people on our planet need to do is to get over their differences and unite.
Do you really believe that?
Of course.
Then come with me now, and we can make it happen.
What are you talking about?
I couldn't say anything before because the other two are not part of the organization. The Resistance. I'm a member of an underground network, Jonas. We've infiltrated every level of government, the civil service, even the military. We intend to stop our leaders before they take us to the brink of destruction.
You're talking about a coup.
When the time is right. But we need your help.
Why?
This is insane. I mean, you're telling me that you're part of a secret organization that is going to seize power from the government. You're gonna get yourself killed.
On the contrary, this is our best chance for survival. There's widespread discontent with the government's hardline war. That's true in Terrania and with the Andari.
Never mind.
Federation as well. The people of all three countries are sick of this never-ending conflict, but their leaders have stopped listening to them.
You really think you can succeed?
I was at the first test of the Quadria bomb. I saw the destruction. I've been having nightmares about it ever since. We have to succeed.
According to Dr. Kieran, there's popular support for negotiated settlement in all three countries.
13 minutes into this and I just
Now,
realized.
they believe that if resistance can seize power in Kelowna, this will compel the other governments to come back to the table or risk similar uprisings. At the very least, they'll be too busy dealing with internal discontent to launch an attack.
If they can pull it off, we might have a more viable trading partner.
The Pentagon has authorized SG-1 to return to the planet and offer the Kelownan government non-military technology in exchange for Quadria.
They'll never go for it.
Maybe not, but we have to explore
They
every
need to
avenue.
accept what
In the
they
meantime, I
are
want you to
given.
make contact with the Resistance and determine their strength, their numbers, and their chance for success.
May I present First Minister Vallis?
Hey! He's an avatar! I'm charmed.
And Jonas Quinn. It's good to see you again, Jonas.
Thank you, sir.
Have you spoken to your superiors?
Why, yes, we have. They send their best.
We've been authorized to continue the trade negotiations.
Excellent.
Back on Earth, Ambassador Draylock referred to recent discoveries leading to a surplus of Quadria.
Yes, our archaeologists have discovered a series of mine shafts beneath the original site. We've managed to extract and process a considerable amount.
How much?
It's something in the area of 300 pounds.
That's an awful lot of dangerous material. If you like, I could take a look at your storage facilities. I might be able to offer some useful advice.
That won't be necessary.
It's purely a matter of safety. As Major Carter said, the Quadria is extremely dangerous, and we'd hate for some sort of accident to happen.
Do you know what would have been really funny? If they were like, if they mentioned that there was like, I don't know, they're like, oh, we have a considerable amount, and then it's like, this much in our, like, metric system.
Clearly, you have more Quadria than you require. What precisely are you asking for in return?
Our enemies have superior numbers in both strategic bombers and long-range fighter escorts. Our only hope to counter them is to get our jet interceptor program off the ground.
We've had some technical difficulties with the program, but we have managed to successfully test a few designs. We believe that with the help of Major Carter and a team of your engineers, we can have a combat-ready squadron in less than a month.
Well, that's not exactly what we had in mind.
We understand from Jonas that Colonan medical science currently has little or no defense against bacterial infections. We're offering a series of drugs known as antibiotics. We estimate they could save up to 15,000 lives in the first year alone.
It's a generous offer, Major.
It is generous.
And under different circumstances, we might accept. But at the moment, we have more pressing needs.
So what you're saying is you want to fight, you don't want to save.
We weren't expecting you this evening, Professor.
I'm sorry. I needed to talk to you.
Well, this isn't a very good time to be taking risks. We've had reports that some members of the government are beginning to question your loyalty. They've been watching you.
I wasn't followed.
This is about the delegation from Earth?
Yes, they want to meet with you.
Well, how do you know they won't betray us to the government in exchange for Nequadria?
I don't think they would do something like that.
You trust them?
I trust Jonas.
What was that reaction?
First Minister.
Please.
It's so dark in here, you got lights. What's going on? Turn up the lights, my dude. Or are you that far behind in the times?
It's difficult for me, Jonas. Seeing you sitting across the table, acting as the representative of another planet.
It's not easy for me either.
You make it sound like you were in
my
love.
choices
You're
are
in like
stick
some kind of relationship with this.
I'm sure you thought you were doing the right thing.
Oh, I know I did the right thing.
Yeah, it's difficult
Stargate
seeing you with
Command
someone else.
He's going to use the Nequadria to come up with technologies that may one day save this world from an enemy you can't possibly imagine.
You were one of the most promising young men any of us had ever seen. Our people had such high hopes for you.
You're not the only one who was disappointed.
I know that you think this is the same old bad blood resurfacing again. Just another round of petty violence. But it's not. This time,
This thing makes me
time,
like
Jonas, we
reminds me
face
of a bowler guy.
total defeat.
Then get back to the negotiating table. Give up some land. You do whatever it takes.
You know how much the Turanians and the Andaris hate each other? Do you really think that they overcame 200 years of prejudice just to get us to give up a little land? I know that it's not too late for you to serve your country. I'm offering you a second chance to do that.
If you're asking me to gather information about Earth technology, that's not going to happen. I will not betray my friends.
On the contrary, I'm asking you to help a friend. Dr. Kieran hasn't been the same since you left. Unfortunately, the strain of completing the Nequadria project has taken its toll.
Maybe
Lately,
some
his behavior
antibiotics would help.
has become increasingly erratic.
How do you mean?
So it sounds like you need medicine.
We're concerned that in his current state, he may be prone to errors of judgment. We want someone to watch over him.
You'd spy on him?
He trusts you, Jonas, and he's still very important to us. If you do this, you will be granted a full pardon. You will be reinstated into your position at the Academy. Your life will resume as though none of this had ever happened.
But he doesn't want that. He literally just said he was like enjoying his life pretty much.
It's time, Jonas, for you to come home.
Why? Just so you can die? In your stupid war?
Oh,
Ah, he is experiencing some. Okay, that
under a lot of strain.
makes sense. That sounds like they need medicine.
I can't concentrate anymore.
It'll all be over soon.
What? What?
You think I should take
Why would you say that?
Colonel O'Neill and the others to meet the resistance?
They can help.
Why are they making it seem so ominous, like he took the deal or whatever?
You trust me, don't you?
Of course.
I'm sorry,
Don't worry
this is annoying. This is literally annoying. It's making. It's like, oh, he took.
Gonna be fine.
He probably took the thing, didn't he? This is why he's acting really weird.
You have surface-to-air missiles that are capable of destroying enemy bombers before they reach our cities.
Yes, we do. But we can't give them to
But
you.
better than you.
It's purely a defensive technology.
And then one day you take down enemy aircraft defending their cities, and quite suddenly, yes, quite suddenly, they become not just defensive, but offensive.
Any superior defensive technology can ultimately be turned into an offensive advantage.
Well, you're not the aggressors here.
You said you wanted a quick and decisive victory. Now, we can only assume that that means you intend to press any advantage that we give you.
Yes, as a means of saving lives.
First Minister,
Have you spoken with your professor? No, I haven't seen him today.
We've just received intelligence that the Turanians are massing their troops on our northern border.
Have they broken off diplomatic relations?
Not yet.
Well, then there's still a chance. Maybe we could talk to them.
You?
Well, Stargate Command has teams of skilled diplomats. It might help to have an objective third party at the table.
No, I'm afraid that's impossible.
Of course.
Why?
That would require us to reveal the existence of the Stargate.
Maybe that's not such a bad idea. I mean, once they realize the kind of advancements they can acquire through peaceful negotiations, they might not be so eager to attack.
You are asking us to reveal something to our sworn enemies that we have yet to admit to our own people.
Looks like it's time you did. Think about it. If everybody knew that this was just one in thousands of inhabited planets, don't you think that they would start focusing on their similarities instead of their differences?
That's a noble sentiment, Jonas. Of course, if it were that simple, I'm sure the existence of the Stargate would be public knowledge on Earth as well. Isn't that right, Colonel?
Jonas, what are you doing here?
You're being followed. This way. How far is it to Resistance headquarters?
It's just down that way.
Show me. Professor!
What? You just slip and fall and die. What? What a weird series of events.
Well, sir, he has a severe fracture to his left tibia, but it's the blunt trauma to the head that worries me. We'll keep him under observation for now. According to the Colonans, he was found lying in a deserted street. No one knows how he got there. Apparently, Jonas was the one who convinced them that he'd have a better chance of recovery with us.
Keep me posted.
Yes, sir.
What?
What exactly are the Colonans saying?
Not much.
They claim to have no knowledge of how Dr. Kieran was injured.
And yet he did have fear he was under threat from the government.
Yeah, but if they suspected that he was some kind of rebel spy, they would never have let us bring him back here.
His own people may have tried to take him out if they felt he had been compromised.
The question is,
Why
what do
is
we do
Jonas
now? Do
not
we go
being
back
honest
to the
about what's
table?
going on here?
General, with all due respect, if we terminate negotiations now, we're going to be backing them into a corner. The way they see it, they'll have no other choice but to launch a preemptive first strike with a Quadria bomb.
Jonas, we're gonna have to do it sooner or later. We can't give them what they want.
Well, what about the Resistance? If we can help the Resistance seize power, we'll still get the Quadria, plus we'll be saving millions of lives.
Even if we wanted to, realistically, there's no way we could find them.
Actually, sir, that's not exactly true.
These images are consistent with someone suffering from advanced schizophrenia.
Dr. Kieran's one of the Colonans' leading scientists. He's the head of the most top-secret program.
I know, I can't explain it. The onset of this disease is extremely rare over the age of 35.
That would mean he's been functioning for at least 20 years without anyone noticing his condition.
It's almost inconceivable.
What kind of symptoms are we talking about here?
Paranoia, delusions, possibly even full-blown hallucinations.
I'm glad you weren't there the day we tested the bomb, Jonas.
Oh, he might not have even been there.
I'll never forget it. The ground shook.
Maybe he's not lying.
Caught fire. The
Oh.
destruction was unimaginable.
We'll move the 3rd Division.
Oh,
of
he
the
probably
reserves
wasn't even
this
there when he like
How long
fell.
can we resist?
Didn't even know if
Master?
he was getting shot at. Like he wasn't
We need to
actually
talk.
being shot at. There is no resistance. It's all a hallucination.
Carter.
Does he feel bad? He feels bad or
Yes, sir, this is
whatever.
the place. Over here, sir. Quadria. A lot of it.
We must defend ourselves.
You're gonna use the Quadria bomb, aren't you?
If Earth will not help us, we have no choice.
I wish you could see what I've seen. I have actually been on board a Goa'uld mothership. I've seen their destructive power. They can park in orbit and systematically annihilate every major city on our entire planet, regardless of who's Colonan or Turanian. To them, we're all just potential slaves.
Jonas, the Goa'uld haven't been here for 1,000 years. What makes you think they would come back now?
The Quadria is a derivative of Naquita, which is the very basis of their technology. It's literally in their blood. They can smell it. If you continue using it, I guarantee you, eventually, they will take notice.
Jonas, we're leaving. What happened? Carter and Teal'c are back at the SGC already.
What about the Resistance?
There is no resistance. It was all in his head. Jonas.
What happened to Dr. Silas and Dr. Lee? They weren't transferred, were they?
They were taken to a government mental facility, Jonas.
You knew.
We suspected. We had thought that Dr. Silas was a unique case.
When Dr. Lee began to exhibit similar behavior,
It's almost like you need medication.
we became concerned.
I wonder who could help supply that.
That's why you wanted me to keep an eye on him.
I like that it showed on the camera that he was there to clarify
Here,
that he
they
was there.
moved today.
Yeah. We're gonna take you to a facility that's better equipped to deal with your needs.
I understand everything's in place for the coup.
Really?
They're keeping me informed. After they take power, the resistance is going to dismantle the bomb and shut down the Quadria project forever.
It's good, Professor. And they couldn't have done it without you.
She really thinks so?
I know so. You saved the world.
It's kind of sad. Hey, what's up you guys? Quick interruption here. As you are no doubt aware, these past few years have been tough on all of us. And there are some things that none of us can hide from. The cost of living, for instance, food and things like electricity, gas, and water have all gone up, and they continue to go up. Now, I don't really like to advertise this, but in order to afford keeping the lights on, the camera running, and to be able to provide you guys with new content like this very edit, for example, I feel I need to let you guys know about how you can help support the channel and myself. I have a Patreon that if you pledge to, you're helping support the channel, and in return, you can get a vast amount of content that you wouldn't regularly get on YouTube, such as full unedited reactions to my regular content, a ton of other shows and movies that you probably don't even know that I've reacted to. A link to this can be found in the description below, and it really does help the channel by keeping me and my very cute cats alive. Think of the cats. If you're interested, you can also check out our website, which is also linked below. Perhaps there's some shows and movies there that you didn't even know that I reacted to, but you always wanted to see. Please know, pledging is entirely your own choice, of course. You're welcome to stay here on YouTube and wait for the edits to come out. No worries. I'm not going anywhere. More edits are coming. I understand not everyone is in the position to support creators, but any help is welcome. Anyways, thank you for your continued support, whether it's through YouTube or on Patreon. You guys are the best. Now please, enjoy the rest of the video. Alrighty-o, well that was Season 6, Episode 7 of Stargate SG-1. I guess it makes sense why, you know, Jonas was acting kind of weird. Because, like, it wasn't Jonas, it was, like, interpretation of him inside of, I can't remember his name, so I'm just gonna call him Al. Al's, like, mind, and so, yeah, it was an interesting concept, to be honest. I felt bad for him in the end there. Yeah. I'm guessing this isn't, like, this whole situation isn't fully resolved yet. We might come back to it again at some point. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.